I need a thought that's passionate about barbecue and that drinks water. Hey guys, so today what we're doing is we're talking about snake oil. I went through and asked you guys to tweet me the most snake oil products that you've possibly heard of, and I'm gonna pick one and send you guys a lucky little snake oil related prize. So let's see what we got. In case you don't know, snake oil is essentially the stuff that gives hi-fi audio a bad name. People will buy into almost anything these days to think that it'll make their sound systems better, their headphones better, their amps better, whatever. And most of the time, it's just someone trying to sell something that costs them almost nothing to scam people, essentially. It's things that will never ever make a difference at all in what you're actually listening to, but people will buy it anyway. Stickers that promise better sound. Oh no. WA Quantum Supreme chips. Why does this even exist? Where do they go? What do you do with them? You literally just put these stickers on your sound system and expect it to make a difference. Oh no, they're stickers that you put on fuses? No, their impact on these fuses extends from the bass to the treble and is more than just saying they add a holographic image. How much are these things? Is there even a price on here? $129 a pair. Oh, you can get one for a cable that's $199. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, maybe someone could think that it's somehow limiting the conductivity of whatever it's being put on. If it's putting the sticker, maybe if you're putting the sticker between the connection of the actual fuse and the metal, maybe you're actually breaking some of a connection and losing signal, but no way. No way at all. What else do we have in here? Sonic paint. Oh no. Well, I don't see anything on Google about this, but apparently there's paint you can buy that people will claim improve the sound of your amp, which is just complete horseshit. There's no way. If you think that painting your amp is going to make a difference in the sound, you're wrong. Unless you're painting over electrical components and you're shorting them out and destroying your amp, then it's going to sound like a destroyed amp. Literally rocks. An extra large bag of rocks, these are just tumbled stones, is $159. I recognize what some of these are. That's rose quartz. You can buy that at Stonekeepers, which is right by my house. You can buy those for pennies. That's literally just a rock that you're supposed to put on your sound system. Oh no. On the floor in room corners, large size brilliant pebbles reduces comb filter effects caused by very high sound pressure levels that develop in the corners when music is playing. What you're trying to say is that this is a bass trap. These are not bass traps. Oh god, they're taped onto cables. Comes in a small clear plastic Ziploc bag. My dog is worried about me right now. It's okay, I'm worried too. I'm worried about all these people. They're not magnetic. They're not doing anything. Unless they're magic, unless someone has literally like discovered the secrets to some transient ability that they can make these rocks manipulate electricity, they're not doing anything. And I feel like if someone has discovered the secrets to the universe and can manipulate rocks to have these magic powers, they could probably be doing a lot more than selling bags of rocks to audiophiles. This would be a scientific breakthrough that would be changing the course of human history. Yeah, I know. They're so dumb. They're so dumb, Huck. Oh, more rocks. All right, let's click on it. Oh man, these are fancy rocks. And these ones are straight up meant to go on like your amp or whatever. So they claim that these rocks that you put on your amps will create tweaks. With our tweaks, you will notice a toe tapping rhythm. The whole selling idea is that audiophiles always get bored of our sound systems and always want different things. Which, yeah, that is true, but putting rocks on your sound system isn't going to change the sound. Well, unless you have like a big speaker that's facing upright and you're putting the rocks in the speaker and they're gonna shake around. Then they'll make a difference in the sound. But putting rocks on top of your amp, unless you put enough rocks on your amp to crush it and destroy it, putting rocks on your amp will not make a difference. I love how all of these say that confirmed listening tests have said that they make a difference. Show me a graph where you can measure something that is happening with these rocks on and off the amplifier. Because measurement equipment is significantly more accurate and significantly more sensitive than the human ear in many cases. So, if measurement equipment that is significantly more accurate than my ears and your ears can detect it, then you know what, maybe it's possible. But I'm betting my money that you can't detect anything, any changes at all with these stupid little rocks. And if very sensitive equipment can't detect it, our ears certainly can't. And here we go. The same goes for stands. The only time when an expensive stand is going to make any difference at all in your sound system is if you have a record player that is picking up vibrations from your speakers. That's the only time you're gonna have to worry about that. Or maybe really crappy Chinese tubes that are microphonic. The materials of your stand, if they're not receiving tons of vibration, the materials of your stand are gonna make no difference. And if you have a solid state amplifier or a DAC or anything like that on an expensive stand that's supposed to change the sound, newsflash, you've been scammed. How much are these? I would really like to know. $495 for a piece of wood, a little bit of brass, what looks like some cork, maybe some rubber. Essentially just $495 for a cut finished piece of wood and a few other very common inexpensive materials that are not assembled. There are companies that make a living off selling things like this. Enough people are buying things like this that these companies are staying in business. And not only are they staying in business, they're huge. You go to RMAF and you see companies like this everywhere that are selling just absolutely ridiculous things. Gold-plated optical cables. Do you know what an optical cable does? An optical cable literally is just light passing through a conduit. There is no electrical conductivity at all. You don't have to worry about a material that's going to change impedance because there is no impedance traveling through light in the cable. Unless you're talking about the impedance of free space in a vacuum. And then, why? Why are you doing this? You could make an optical cable out of dog and it would sound no different because the thing that's passing through that cable is ones and zeros, not a wave, not an analog signal of any kind. It is ones and zeros transmitted through light from one sender to a receiver, from sensors that are putting out light and picking up light. It's just like if you were doing that in the air. If you were sending flashes right here and I was seeing your flashes over here and we decided to do it in a tunnel made out of dog shit, I would still see your flashes just the same. Gold-plated optical cables. Love of Christ. I'm not even gonna look up how expensive those are. That's the best one. That's the best one. That's just phenomenal. Okay, let's look these guys up. DCCA power cords, the Eminence Supreme, 6 feet. $1,000 for a 6-foot power cable. You know the best thing about this? Look how freakishly thick this power cable is. And now, look at the wall outlet right behind it. How big do you think the cables are that are running through the wall? How big do you think those lines are? And how heavily insulated do you think the lines in the wall are? Because I can guarantee that before you get to that plug, the cables are going to be nowhere near expensive audiophile cables. It's going to be copper with a little bit of magnetic shielding and a fire retardant rubber insulator on the outside. That is all. Maybe some insulation in the wall as well because you have to keep heat in or cold in depending on the weather conditions. But you could run lamp cord as long as it's thick enough from the wall outlet to your amp and it will sound no different than this. Unless that amp is drawing just stupid amounts of power, just hundreds of thousands of watts and you need a cable that thick, and unless the actual cables in the wall are also that thick, this is some of the most ridiculous horse crap I've ever seen. This is almost more ridiculous than Magic Rocks. Look at this thing. What kind of human being looks at this and thinks, I need a cable that big because I need to make sure I'm getting the best power delivery possible? It doesn't make a difference. Unless you're literally replacing every cable in your entire house, this is not the bottleneck in your system. Unless you're gonna run new power lines all the way from the power company to your house, this is not going to be your bottleneck. Your bottleneck should never be your power cables. Unless I'm trying to power my entire sound system off of an IEC cable that's this thin, I might melt this cable, but my sound system, until this cable melts, is not going to sound bad. God. I started this video just thinking that I was gonna rant about snake oil things and just look at all this crap on the internet. But this is just soul crushing. And look, see that? There's wooden stands underneath those cables too. Let's add keywords to it. Hi-Fi. It took me back to DCAA Audio, and man, do they have a high-quality website. Looks like we're not gonna find pricing for these. You know what? My soul has just been crushed by this disgusting display of how incredibly stupid people are, and how willing companies are to just rip you off and not care about your user experience at all. But I guess that's gonna conclude today's video. Remember, don't be an idiot. Just don't. Use your brain. Think about things before you buy them. You know what? If enough people like this video, I will put together an experiment. I'll buy some Magic Rocks and some wooden stands to get my cables off the floor, and we'll go all out with it. Maybe we'll even get some of those crappy stickers, and we'll measure everything. We'll measure everything again and again and again and again and again to look for the smallest discrepancy. So if enough people like this video, I'll do that, because why not? You know what? In fact, I'll make it even easier. If 400 of you like this video, I'll do my measurement experiment, and we'll see if we can find any differences at all with all of this snake oil bullshit. But until then, guys, that's going to conclude this video. Don't forget to stick around and subscribe, and if you want early access to my next video, check out the Patreon linked in the video description. But until next time, peace.